Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Garland, welcome.
Thank you, Senator.
Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
In 2+ decades on the court, you have built a reputation for integrity and for setting aside partisan interests and following the law. The job to which you have been appointed is a very different job. And as I look back over the 8 years of the Obama-Biden Justice Department, in my view, the most problematic aspect of that tenure was that the Department of Justice was politicized and weaponized in a way that was directly contrary to over a century of tradition of the Department of Justice of being apolitical and not a partisan tool to target your opponents. So it is very much my hope, if you're confirmed as Attorney General, that you will bring that reputation for integrity to the Department of Justice and demonstrate a willingness to stand up for what will be inevitable political pressure to once again politicize the Department of Justice and use it as a tool to attack the political opponents of the current administration. Eric Holder, before he was nominated as Attorney General, had likewise built a reputation as being relatively nonpartisan and a prosecutor with integrity. And unfortunately, his tenure as Attorney General did enormous damage to that reputation. As was previously discussed, Eric Holder described his role as Attorney General as being the wingman for President Obama. Am I right in assuming you do not view your role as Attorney General as being Joe Biden's wingman?
Yeah, Senator, as I said, I don't want to comment on any individual's conduct as any of my predecessors or FBI directors' conduct in any way. But I can assure you I do not regard myself as anything other than the lawyer for the people of the United States. And I am not the president's lawyer. I am the United States lawyer. And I will do everything in my power, which I believe is considerable, to fend off any effort by anyone to make prosecutions or investigations partisan or political in any way. My job is to protect the Department of Justice and its employees in going about their job and doing the right thing according to the facts and the law.
Under the Obama administration, the IRS targeted the political opponents of the president. It targeted conservatives for their speech. It targeted pro-Israel groups. It targeted Tea Party groups. It targeted individuals perceived to be on the opposite political side as the administration. Will you commit as Attorney General that you will not allow the Department of Justice to be used to target those who are perceived as political opponents because they are political opponents?
Absolutely, I will not.
Also under the Obama administration, Operation Choke Point was used to pressure lawful organizations, lawful institutions, for example, that sell firearms, to constrain their lawful activity and to use regulatory authority to abuse and force them to comply with the administration's stated policies. Do you believe it's appropriate for the administration to use regulatory pressure to force lawful behavior to stop?
Senator, I'm not aware of the specific that you're giving, and I expect you don't expect that I would have been aware of it. But of course, I do not believe, as a general matter, that regulations should be used to stop people from doing what they're lawfully entitled to do, unless the regulation is pursuant to a statute, obviously, in which Congress is given authority to change the rules.
As you also know, Attorney General Eric Holder was held in contempt of Congress, criminal contempt of Congress. That was a bipartisan vote. 18 Democrats voted to hold Attorney General Holder in contempt. They did so because he refused to produce documents to Congress for Congress's investigation of the Fast and Furious scandal, a major scandal that resulted in the death of 2 federal law enforcement officers. You've previously committed to senators on this panel that under your leadership, the Department of Justice will comply to the extent possible with requests from this committee. And I want to, in the course of this question, associate myself with Senator Whitehouse's comments and questions. He and I disagree on a great many issues, but on this particular issue, we are emphatically in agreement that senators from this committee should get answers, should get candid answers, should get substantive answers, should get real answers from the Department of Justice, regardless of the party of the senator asking that question, that is a level of oversight that the American people have a right to expect. Do you agree with that?
I do think that this is a level of oversight the American people have a right to expect. I want the department, if I'm confirmed, to be responsive to the extent it's possible with respect to the Justice Department's appropriate equities, to be responsive to the requests for information.
So previously you said you've read the executive summary of the Horowitz report. What was your reaction to the Horowitz report?
Well, I thought, as Mr. Horowitz explained, and I believe Director Wray agreed, there were problems with respect to the applications for several FISAs, that those they were not consistent with the internal regulations of the department, and those problems had to be corrected. I think deeply that we have to be careful about how we use FISA, and that's the reason we have pretty strict regulations internally and policies, and we need to find out why they aren't followed and to be sure that they are followed. I understand that was the purpose of his report and his recommendations to Director Wray.
So you described the report as saying there were problems. That's a fairly anodyne way of characterizing it, given the multiple material misstatements the Horowitz report details, including Mr. Klein-Smith's fabrication of evidence and lying to a court, which he's now pleaded guilty to. I think that was yet another example of the deep politicization of the Department of Justice, culminating in a meeting with the acting Attorney General, President Obama, Vice President Biden in the Oval Office concerning the targeting of their political opponent. Will you commit to this committee that under your leadership, the Department of Justice will not target the political opponents of this administration, and there will be real scrutiny? What that report outlines, among other things, is weaponizing Oppo research from the Hillary Clinton campaign and launching a criminal investigation based on that. Will you commit that that conduct will not be acceptable under any Department of Justice you're leading?
So absolutely, Senator, but without trying to comment specifically on that matter, it's totally inappropriate for the department to target any individual because of their politics or their position in a campaign. The only basis for targeting has to be evidence of the risk of foreign intelligence problem or of a criminal problem. And that is a nonpartisan issue. That is a question of objective facts and law, and it can never be an effort to help one party or another party. In investigations and prosecutions, there is no party. The department is an independent, nonpartisan actor, and that's my job to ensure that that's the case.
Thank you.